Hello, and welcome to Prototype and See, the podcast for designers, engineers, and innovators all about the product development journey. My name's James Murphy, co-founder of HLH, one of the world's leading manufacturers of prototypes and bespoke production parts. And in this series, we'll be sitting down with some of the world's most innovative companies to discuss and find out how they go about bringing new products to life. And today, we have with us the co-founder and CPO of a parametric design platform, BeeGraphy, Lernik Mirzakhanyan. How are you doing?
Hello, James. Doing quite
okay?
well.
You
Thanks
okay,
for the invite. Yeah, really glad to be here.
Great. So from what I understand, it's you guys are from Armenia, but the company is registered in the States, is it? So
The team is actually distributed. Our head office is in the United States. The legal entity, the main legal entity, is registered there.
Yeah.
The team is distributed, and the core operational team, I'd rather say the development team, is based out of Armenia, and then we also have a team in India.
Okay, I don't know a great deal about Armenia, to be honest. Like, what's it like?
It's a tiny country, 3 million of population, based in this mountainous area. JD Vance is visiting us today, so lots of traffic jams here. Yeah, people with a lot of history related to adopting Christianity as the first religion. People are very, should I say, orthodox? Well, religious believers, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay, and I mean, it's mountainous, you say? So, I think it's landlocked, isn't it? You don't have.
It is. Yeah. It is. Yeah. We have a big lake though in the mountains.
Okay. So lots of outdoor kind of activities and things to do, forests and.
Lots of forests, lots of rocky places.
Yeah.
Ski resorts. Come visit us.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to. Yeah. Okay. So, how about BeeGraphy then? Tell us a little bit about the company. Like I said, it's a parametric design platform. But if you could kind of tell us a little bit more about that and what you guys are trying to do, that'd be good.
BeeGraphy is a cloud-based parametric ecosystem for design and manufacturing. If I had to put it in one sentence, we turn a product into a set of rules, not a single file.
Okay.
So that way, changes don't mean rebuilding everything from scratch, but rather you just change parameters and the system automatically updates geometry, the bill of material, the production files.
Yeah. Parametric design it's a modern method of designing products based on inputting certain parameters and changing them instantly. Kind of updates the design. So it's like automating a lot of the actual design work. Is that correct? Or?
Yeah, that's true. Parametric design essentially is about creating the product or the model with a set of rules, with a logic. Basically, you define an algorithm, and then the algorithm has variables, which are your parameters. And whenever you change the parameters, the whole thing recalculates and updates.
Yeah. Okay. So does that enable people without an engineering background to design products, or is it still something which is aimed at more kind of product designers and engineers?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
One thing, well, we call it parametric design, and also it's called computational design. In this industry, probably computational design is the more frequent term. Computational design lies somewhere in between direct modeling and coding, like computer
Yeah.
programming,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you need to come up with a logic. You
Uh
can't
huh.
just go ahead and put lines. So
Yeah.
the first thing you do when you want to design something is, okay, what's the logic behind it? So you think about it, give it a thought, and like, right, I don't know if there are programmers in the audience, but if you write pseudocode when before you program, it's basically something like that.
Uh huh.
So we don't have actual code, like text
Yeah.
written code.
Yeah.
It's just node blocks that you connect to each other, that they have relationship to each other, and that's your pseudocode. And behind, like under the hood of each block, it's a function.
Yeah.
So returning to your question, can anyone do that? Well, yes, but it will be difficult. You need certain practice and getting used
Yeah.
to that
Yeah.
way of designing. So we, on our platform, foresee a different flow where professionals can come and create those designs that
Okay.
can then be used as a logic for the manufacturers or for those who want to take advantage of that design and implement it in their manufacturing workflow.
Right. Okay. So it's aimed more at people with design experience, product designers who have an existing kind of skill set that they can then use your platform to design in a different way, essentially.
Well, the our platform consists of several layers. The
Okay.
core layer is the software for
Mm.
parametric design, where you create the products with a different approach.
Uh-huh.
And it's not an approach that we invented, it existed.
Yeah.
We just put it into a different architecture, let's say, a
Hmm.
different
Hmm.
setup. And then there is another layer. We have a marketplace part of the platform, so designers can create what they want and then
Hmm.
publish and make it available to the rest of the world. And the rest of the world, they can open anything on the marketplace and play with it without knowing any CAD or modeling or design. So they just
Yeah.
it has intuitive UI. They can change the inputs,
Uh-huh.
the variables, and they will see how the model changes. And then they can download the files they need. And
Okay.
the third layer is the manufacturing part. That's where we commercialize this whole software. It's aimed at those who want to implement the design developed by the professionals into their day-to-day manufacturing workflow.
Okay.
So they can define their own layer, their materials, the rates for their services, the
Yeah.
rates for their materials, and then uh, based on that logic, it will generate bill of material, compute the price, and let them sell to their end users. There.
Okay. So from the sounds of it, the business model is kind of you have three different uh, products, almost three different
Yeah, yeah, you can say
kind of
that.
target markets. One's the designers, two people who maybe lack the design skills, but can access other people's designs and tweak them for their own uh, kind of spec. And then the third one would be the manufacturers, who are able to implement it into their process. Is that, have I
Yeah,
understood it
exactly.
correctly? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So how did it all get started? Like, where did the idea for the company come from? Like, what?
We were working on a smart stroller project.
Okay.
We're developing
Okay.
a smart stroller
Yeah.
called Canry, and that showed us something painful, that the
Right.
product itself wasn't complex, but the
Yeah.
iterations were. So
Right.
any change triggered the same loop, modify the design, send files, explain
Mm,
things to the factory, hit errors, fix them, start
mm.
over again, and you would go over that loop again and again.
Very
And
time
during
consuming.
COVID, yeah, it's very time consuming. And during COVID, when the teams got isolated it got even worse.
Mm.
The whole setup wasn't ready for this. Like, it was easier when most of the people were in the same room, and
Yeah.
then you could discuss, and then the manufacturing is not too far. You could always travel and
Yeah.
deal with them face to face. But during COVID, the communication became very slow. It meant sending more and more files, and then in these file versions, like, the last file version, and the final one, and the final after the last, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you're like, okay, what changed here? People are confused. It became clear that the problem is not that the existing CAD tools were not good. It's just
Yeah.
the architecture, the workflow is not set up in a way to handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we thought, okay, what if there would have been a, a way to keep the product logic there, and then the collaborators could tweak it rather than every time coming back to us saying, like, okay, what did you mean? This doesn't work. This doesn't feed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it's, I mean, it's quite a logical kind of progression, I think, isn't it? Okay. And what was the most challenging aspect of developing the platform, the product, the ecosystem?
mm, I'd say there were three things. One was, well, we were building something that we had a vision for,
Uh
but
huh.
we didn't really fully understand how it needs to be implemented. So
Yeah.
we kind of didn't have a blueprint for that ecosystem that we wanted to build. And that meant lots of experimentation, trying
Yeah. And
things.
there isn't really a similar product out there that you could kind of copy elements from.
Well, like there's always something in as isolated things, like, okay, we could take
Yeah.
this from that,
From
or
that.
and
Yeah.
take that. But all this all together, like, and how to set it up, that was unclear on the development side. It was
Hmm.
very challenging.
Hmm.
And then we tried. In fact, I remember after the first year that when we were like, we were going in the wrong direction,
Yeah.
because it's not scalable. And we're like, okay, we need to change something. And then we went and analyzed, we discussed, we agreed with the team that we need to replace this code, a lot of code. And basically, we lost like 6 months of work.
Right.
But then catching up is always easier. Like, when I'm
Mm.
saying we spent 6 months on that when we did it for the first time, but when we did it for the second time, it took us 2 months.
Yeah. You had all that learning there. So.
Yeah, yeah. Second thing was, it's a cloud native platform. Everything runs in the browser,
Hmm.
and there
Hmm.
is this performance constraint out there. So we need to keep it in mind
Hmm.
and constantly optimize to keep complex models fast and scalable,
Mm.
and to keep the system stable.
Yeah. How did you overcome that then? That sounds like a big.
Yeah, that's big. Lots of things we learned.
Uh huh.
Like, in the beginning, probably we were, as many founders, were very naive, thinking
Mm.
that it's all black and white and we'll figure it out. But it took a long learning curve.
Mm.
And the technologies also, while we were working on our product, we saw, okay, there's Figma, and I don't know, there's Miro, and there's Google Drive, and Google Docs, and lots of
Mm.
other cloud platforms, and things were going like we saw the trend. The trend was there. Everything was going to the cloud. So we're like, okay,
Mm.
we should go to. But when you're actually doing it, you're facing specific problems, and then
Uh
you
huh.
need to overcome them, and you cannot calculate that in advance. You need to try and then see, okay, well, it's very slow. What do we
Yeah.
do? And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you start thinking how we can optimize. Then maybe in some cases show less, like LOD, level of detail,
Yeah.
like show less mesh because it's zoomed out so that it keeps performing, or in some cases use a different algorithm. Uh, yeah, and then the browser technologies, they keep improving,
Mm, mm.
and the rendering technologies. So that also contributed. I remember, like over the last 2 years, probably we improved the performance 100x.
Right, right.
Yeah, and it wasn't like in one go. It was like, oh, we can improve here. Let's do. We can improve here. Let's do. And sometimes, oh, we figured that we can make it better now, but it's a lot of refactoring. Should we do it now or should we do it later?
Mm, mm.
So you always have to think about it.
Yeah. And all in, like how long have you guys been working on? When did the company start?
We found it in September 2021.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so it's
Quite a few, quite a
four
while.
four and a
Yeah.
half years. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Where we thought initially we had that we would be where we are probably in a year.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And what like was the initial you say you were working on this smart stroller and it was the kind of design process, the back and forth, the updates. Were there any other elements of the design workflow that you were fundamentally trying to kind of replace?
Well, the main pain was with on-premises software.
Yeah,
It's almost impossible to work in the same environment at the
yeah,
same time.
yeah.
And when it's in the cloud, and when I yeah, like when I'm saying in the cloud, I don't mean using the same software running on the server, which
Mm,
was meant to work on one computer, but I mean the entire environment. Then it's a different story. Then you can check the progress on the design while it's being made, and you can
uh-huh.
intervene and leave a comment like,
Yeah,
"Hey, uh, I think we're going in a different direction. You better change this,"
uh-huh.
or I don't know, change. Like you don't have to wait until the process is finished to
To
be able to contribute and give feedback or
mm-hmm,
change parameters.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it became easier to share. Like one thing is sharing file,
Mm.
and CAD files can be heavy.
Yeah,
The other
yeah,
thing is sharing a link. So you
yeah,
send a link, and I can hop in and check,
yeah.
and it runs in the browser, so I can open it on any device, on my tablet, or if I want to go on a phone. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
phone. In fact, the display screen size is a bit
Yeah,
small, so it's not always convenient. But on certain things, it is. It's at least it's something you have always in your pocket,
yeah,
like quick edits or quick feedback, quick review with lots of software. Well, you want to share something with the other party, but they don't have the software, and the
yeah,
software is usually not free.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you can't. I mean, installing, downloading, and installing is a fuss,
yeah,
hassle,
yeah.
and then you can't ask them to buy it for the
Just
sake
to have a
of
look at the drawing for 5 minutes and
yeah.
make sure that they
Yeah,
like the look of
there
it.
are viewers, but I mean, there's lots of friction in all of
Yeah,
these in betweens.
yeah, yeah. I mean, from the sounds of it, it's like it's not just solving one problem. It's actually tackling quite a few kind of barriers and holdups during the design process. But how do you feel it is in terms of like security? So like a lot of people, especially when it's new product design and things like that, they do worry about um, sending the designs here, there, and everywhere. Do you think like your platform offers a more secure option than, like you say, emailing things, um, or how does it stack up? Like, how,
Yeah, you reminded me. Yeah, you actually hit right on, because that was another thing that I didn't remember to mention. But that's another thing.
uh,
In I don't know how familiar you are with parametric design, like and the
uh, uh,
tools out there, but
I know a little about it. Yeah.
yeah. So when we're talking parametric design, it's two ways how you can share. You can share one static variation of the product
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in a form of a screenshot, or I don't know, let's say an OBJ STL in some static format
Yeah.
that is not subject to change, that nobody can play with it. It's just mesh.
Yeah.
So they would give feedback. I don't know, make a screenshot or PDF, put some notes,
Yeah.
take a photo or send back. Or and the other alternative is to send the file which contains the algorithm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that one, designers don't like doing it. It's like for a software engineer to share the code instead of
Yeah.
showing the product, like showing and sharing the code or the algorithm. It's their IP. In many
Yeah. Yeah.
cases, they don't want to share it.
Mm.
With BeeGraphy, that problem is also solved
Okay.
because you can send a link to a different environment. We have
Right. Right. Right.
editor environment that contains the graph and the
Mm.
algorithm,
Mm-hmm.
and we have the viewer environment which doesn't contain that. It contains only the viewport with the 3D or
Right.
2D
Right.
and the variables that the designer lets you see and tweak. And
Okay.
those variables, they're also defined within specific constraints so that the person who is playing with it will not ruin it. So
Yeah.
like there's a
Yeah.
minimum and maximum, or it's a drop down with specific inputs you can choose.
Yeah. Okay. So in that sense, it is a safer option then. Okay. Talk to me a little bit more about the manufacturing aspect of it. So how does that work? Like, how does it work for manufacturers? I can see the design side. I can see that.
Mhm.
But how does it work for the manufacturers?
The manufacturers, well, I'll probably start with the trend that lately the trend is changing from serial manufacturing to custom
Yeah.
manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with
Mm-hmm.
when there are more and more 3D printers and CNC milling machines and laser cutters, and they become more and more affordable, the trend is shifting in that direction, and
Yeah.
manufacturers have to face it. So more and more people are approaching them and asking them to do certain things custom.
Uh-huh.
And then when it comes to custom, they start to spend a lot of time talking to the clients,
Mm.
trying to
Mm.
understand what they want. And then
Mm.
after talking, they need to show something. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. So they spend time to create some sketch, or even
Uh-huh.
better, a 3D view.
Yeah.
So that takes more time and
Uh-huh.
money. And
Yeah.
then they need to show it and then get feedback and then change and then show it again. And then they also, because they need to sell, they need to come up with a price. So they need to put down the bill of material and compute how much it's going to cost to show it to the client so that the
Mm.
client has more information for his decision,
Mm.
for their decision.
So
And
there's lots of bottlenecks.
yeah, and like in the UK, for example, I'm saying UK because on different markets it will be different. Eastern European market, the if you compare the price of a custom finished product versus the same finished product but serial,
Mm.
is it serial is right,
Yeah.
right?
Serious. Okay.
Standard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It will be at least 3x, usually 4x or more.
Oh, yeah. It's
In
going to be
in the Western
significantly. Yeah.
market, it will
Significantly.
be 8x, 10x, and
Mm.
it's too much. It
Mm.
makes the custom product very expensive, and there is a reason for that. 80 to 90% of the work is actually this manual. It's not the
Mm.
machines
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, that are expensive, but it's the people that are more expensive because they
Mm.
have to repeat the same process again and again and again. And when they do it, there is this human factor, so they make mistakes eventually, and
Mm.
that mistakes costs money to the business.
Yeah.
Any mistakes can be in the pricing. They can price too high and then they won't sell. They can price too low, the margin will be low, or they
Yeah.
sell below their
Okay, so,
cost.
so so it's like enabling manufacturers to have a conversation with their customers using a kind of visual design tool rather than some other means, and thus kind of speeding the whole process up, letting them get closer towards what the customer's looking for. That's
Yeah, the visualization is one side. Then there is dynamic pricing when you change the parameters, it
right.
sees the price instantly, and then
Okay, so the
that's the
manufacturers
others.
can input into the platform their kind of machine cost per hour, the material cost, etc., and then based on the outputted design, you would then generate a cost for
Yeah, it
manufacturing
will
that product.
generate a bill of material for that specific configuration, and we will generate the production ready files. It can
Yeah,
be the CAD file, or it can
yeah.
be the ultimate G code.
Mm. And then in terms of the the design for manufacture side of things, like how do you ensure like a balance between kind of design freedom and actual manufacturability at the end? Like how are you sure
Mhm.
what your output is going to actually be able to be made?
Yeah, it's about we can't use one, let's call it a configurator, a product configurator that will sell either a bottle or a cell phone.
Mm,
It has to be like one product, but
mm,
with variations.
mm.
So for each product or a family of products, like, I don't know, it can be um, a sofa, let's say,
Yeah, yeah.
or plastic windows. I don't know if you make them custom in your market. In our market here, they're always custom.
Okay,
So you don't have to. You can create or have one configurator, and
right.
then let the user, the buyer,
Okay, so there are
define the configuration. Yeah,
constraints are built in. So you have like a box within which they can do what they want, but they can't go
yeah,
outside of
yeah,
that box essentially.
yeah. And the
Okay.
constraints, yeah, they need to be defined
Yeah.
in the very beginning.
Okay. And then in terms of the types of manufacturers you guys are kind of aiming this at, like what kind of products, what kind of manufacturers do you think are a good fit for BeeGraphy?
Mhm. The best fit is where you have three things, where the product has lots of variations,
Uh-huh.
there is repeatable logic,
Mm.
and ideally, but optionally, when the mistakes are expensive,
Yeah.
that's the best fit. It can be like custom furniture, kitchen cabinets, decorative wall panels, stairs are essentially parametric, windows and doors. Something in general that can be produced using CNC milling or laser cutting, metal structures, facades.
Okay. So quite a varied mix of applications then.
In fact, I quite often I'm unable to define exactly. I just don't want to limit
Mm-mm.
to specific things because clients reach out and say like, "Okay, I have this product.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you help us?" And then we go through some discussion with them to understand like, okay, what's the logic there? Can
Hmm.
we bring it down to specific rules
Yeah.
to create a rule driven design for that product? And if we can, then yeah, amazing.
Okay. And I believe you're currently running some kind of pilots with some manufacturers. Are you able to talk a little bit more about those?
Yeah, we are doing some pilots. In fact, I don't know if your audience has lots of manufacturers. They are welcome to reach out to us,
Uh-huh.
and we will be willing to to go through a free pilot with them to create
Right.
a free configurator for them and show them how these things work and how it saves them money. Well,
Okay. Great. Yeah.
not everyone fits, but they need to reach out. We'll discuss if they think that it meets the what I mentioned before, like repeatable logic and
Yeah.
lots of variations. Then
Uh-huh.
it probably we
Then you
will
can
be able to
probably do
help.
something. Okay.
The pilot in that case isn't as much about pretty 3D visuals, but it's about closing the loop.
Mm.
We take one product or product line and translate it into parametric logic. So there is configuration defined, then pricing defined, bill of material prepared. We do the nesting, and then we give them machine-ready files.
Okay.
Well, yeah, if it's a CNC or a 3D printer or a laser. So a
Okay.
pilot is successful when the second and third orders for the same product line require almost zero engineering time,
Mm.
and
Mm.
that the data quality stays consistent.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you guys obviously you feel like the trend is definitely towards more customization of products, less mass manufacturing. You think that's the direction of travel?
Yeah, yeah. I was recently invited to a manufacturing facility. These guys, they are doing serial manufacturing of furniture.
Uh huh.
They were telling me that the the amounts or the market size for serial manufacture and of furniture decreased like 3 4 times
Right. Right.
from their experience at least. I
Okay.
tend to believe that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What are some other insights that you've got from talking with clients that are using your platform?
Well, one insight is that manufacturers often want automation or new tools more than designers
Uh huh.
because for them mistakes turn into direct money loss,
Yeah. Yeah.
I assume. And second, probably that people they don't want to see complex things on the screen. They
Mm.
want to see results that are fast, correct, and low risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one more thing is that in most cases, our clients or people we talk to, they understand the problem, but they don't understand that the whole setup can be changed. They very few believe it can be solved systemically, like changing the
Okay.
approach.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And are you guys kind of using this feedback to keep evolving the platform? Are you still changing and developing it,
Yeah,
or are
we
you?
we keep working on, for example, the G code generation.
Uh huh.
That part is something that we started working on recently. Before we thought, okay, we give them a DXF or OBJ or step file,
Uh huh.
and they have the geometry and they can go work with it. Turned out, at least for those who use CNC milling, to the first pilots that we have, they were like, no, if you give us this geometry, then we need to have the engineer convert it into
Yeah.
G
Yeah.
code,
Yeah.
like the
Okay.
toolpath and the G code. Then, so we want the G code. We don't want to like the those engineers are expensive,
Mm.
and when we
Mm.
scale, we have to hire more engineers like that, and it's difficult to hire those people.
Mm.
There are not
Mm.
so many experienced people on the market, and those that are, they are already busy working somewhere, and the salaries are growing. So they're like, can you make it in a way so that we don't contact them at all? And you
Yeah.
just give us the G code. I was
Uh
like,
huh.
okay, that was new to us. That was not expected. Like,
Okay.
okay. And
And
then we started thinking,
how's that gone? Like how's
uh, we are still, it's the first months that,
okay?
less than a month that we were working on. We did our first G code generation.
Yeah, because
Well,
that's
and
a different challenge, isn't it? I
yeah,
guess. Yeah.
it is. It is. So we were doing CAD only. Now we're moving to CAM, putting
Uh-huh.
it on our stack list.
Yeah.
But it's going fine. I was really scared. Like I did, uh, like everything you try to develop takes time
Yeah.
and financial resources.
Uh-huh.
It's always a trade-off. Okay, do we improve this or do we improve this? And since we had the pilots and we had kind of a commitment, we thought, okay, give us some time, we'll
Yeah.
add that.
Yeah. And I suppose
So
that's a good way for you guys to kind of integrate yourselves into your clients' kind of whole process, essentially becoming a more essential ingredient. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think it sounds like it makes sense from a business perspective, assuming you can make it work. Yeah.
mhm.
Okay, and then what about? I mean, obviously, everybody at the minute is always talking about AI. Is that something that you guys are exploring, integrating into? Because AI and parametric design, um, I mean, should be fairly kind of closely related, I think.
Yeah. Essentially, parametric design is very similar to programming, and we know that AI is really good at that.
Mm,
We are looking into that. We did some experiments with integrating AI. I think the most difficult part of the flow here is to create this parametric logic.
mm,
And
mm,
we see AI could fix that because um, it's also difficult to find really good uh, parametric designers.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
and
and,
expensive.
and and learning to do parametric design, it's not something impossible, but it's still there is a learning curve.
Hmm.
um, so we think we can overcome that by giving the ability to use AI so that people, they explain what they want with
Hmm.
prompts, and
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
our software will create the parametric logic for
Hmm.
them, and then they give feedback, and it will get improved over
Yeah.
those points.
So I mean, obviously not today, but in the future, do you then see a point where conceivably you no longer need a kind of human product designer? You can just get AI to do it.
uh, Kind of.
You do see that, yeah. So don't.
It's not like completely replacing, but
Uh-huh.
people will be using AI to do many things faster, but
Yeah.
they will need to give the idea to the AI, and then they
Mm,
will have
mm,
the idea, will have the AI check that idea. They'll come up with a logic. Then maybe,
mm,
okay, that logic is not good, so the person will still need to give feedback, because
mm,
the AI can work differently for different people. The more
mm.
experienced the person is, the better results he
The
can get from
results,
this
the
AI.
output, yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's you see it as like augmenting rather than replacing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm absolutely confident that what it's going to be.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, fantastic. Really, really interesting. Great to talk to you. Where should people go if they want to find out more about you guys, or if they want to get in touch with you for the pilot exploration, things like that?
We actually have two companies.
Okay.
One is BeeGraphy.com, which is a technology development company.
Yeah.
Um, so they can go to BeeGraphy.com to know more about the technology and start playing with it and check the market and experiment, see how they can play with parameters and how the designs change on the market. Please note that the designs on the market are not BeeGraphy designs, is people using our tools
Okay.
publishing their designs, so something can be broken. We do some moderation and we try to hide the designs that are not looking good or have some problems. But then they can unhide it if you want, if they want. And there's another company called Configurator.Tech. So
Right.
Configurator.Tech is a service company that
Okay.
we developed for manufacturers
Right.
who want to have product configurators integrated. So if they don't want to learn any of the tools, they just want a solution quick, we will be happy to to provide the turnkey solution using the same technology.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. So that's BeeGraphy.com and Configurator.Tech.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, Lernik, nice to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James.
Whether you're working on your first product or your 10th, you've got the Prototype and C podcast to back you up through your product development journey. Follow, subscribe, and tune in for our next episode. We can't wait to see where your prototype takes you.